BlxckMonopoly presents Dope Dialogue.
Coming out of high school, my goal was to get into USC, and then I realized you had to have like, crazy GPA, and unfortunately, you know what I mean, I didn't take, the books as serious as I should have, which is something I want like young kids to look at and, be on top of, which is how I ended up at a JUCO. So when I was leaving Howard, I got a job offer from the NFL Network, and then I did my math and did my research, and I was like, oh snap, looked up the location. It was in Culver City, so I put two and two together. I'm like, that's LA. And I was almost sold. I had like a lot of offers on the table, but it was like my goal was to come back out here, but I didn't want to be one of the people that just came out here like just to come out here. I wanted to come out here and be set up to succeed.
Got you.
The good Lord made that happen.
Smooth. So you said you got an offer from NFL Network. Mm-hmm. What was your major in college, and how'd you land that opportunity?
Yeah, my major was broadcast journalism. So I was in the School of Communications, John H. Johnson School of Communications at Howard University. When I got there, I got lucky because I met my mentor, a man by the name of Ed Hill Jr., who's like, there's probably very few people in the world that are as connected as him. I mean, like, it's like a short list. And this man had me in the White House. He had me at the Wizards games. He had me I was in there, So that's kind of how that happened. Like, I was a broadcaster. I got my first internship with BET, which was unpaid. They pay their interns now. I was a little ahead of my time, but I learned a lot during my internship there. This girl named Successful Brim hooked me up with that. Shout out to her. I bumped into her in the club a while back, so shout out to her. She kind of like kick-started me in the industry side of things. And then Howard needed a voice to call their sports events, and they didn't have one in quite some time. In fact, they hadn't had one that I guess was like on like a serious level since Gus Johnson, who's now like the broadcasting GOAT. When he was doing it, the games were on tape delay, so they had never done it live because Howard is a HBCU, so we lack funds and things like that like the PWIs just have naturally. So we have to make do. We got to turn sugar into into wine and do all that type stuff. So one day, Mr. Hill, they asked me that I wanted to take the role, and I was like, cool. I always wanted to be Stuart Scott and those guys. Like, that was always my goal, like since I was little. So I took on the job. I didn't know, however, that they needed me to do the girls' games as well. So it was kind of like heavy duty, heavy lifting. So I broadcast all the women's games and the men's games, basketball and football. It was the best experience, So Mr. Hill and Ricky Clemens actually put that together for me for the Howard Sports Radio Network. So I became like the first official voice, and we were able to do the first live broadcast and stuff from the school. And we got a lot of people that were tuning in, and I just got to really cut my teeth. I learned a lot about just how to stay humble and how to be a team player, and just about the business. And I learned about just the tradition, because there were so many broadcasters that either went to Howard or got their start at the school before me, like Michael Wilbon, Stan Verrett, Steve Weich, Gus Johnson, Daryl Ledbetter, Jim Trotter. Like, the history's strong. So I took the job very serious, and it was great, and it led to just a lot of opportunity for me.